Welcome to the Week's Weekly podcast for companies and agency owners specializing in medical clinics, cannabis, and dental offices. Have you reached your peak and want more out of life and business? Learn what it takes to be a part of bigger projects with the potential for a more significant payoff through growth and acquisitions. Listen to the latest episode with your host, Ed Weeks Jr.
Hey everybody, Ed Weeks Jr. back with another exciting episode of the Weeks Weekly, and I'm honestly I'm super stoked to have today's guest. Even though I can't say his name worth of crap, I'm going to try anyways. Hassan Bash, my good friend, the executive performance coach. I think I got his name right. If I didn't, too bad. He can say it himself. Hassan, how are you today, my friend?
I am good, my friend. You said it the best way you could ever say it, man. You said it great.
The best Americanized way that I could say it. Listen, man, how long have we known each other now? We met in a mastermind group. God, it seems like it was 20 years ago, but you're like 20, so that didn't happen. When?
When I was like
what
7.
year was it? Yeah, what year was it? Do you remember the year? I don't remember the year.
It was it 2014 or 15? No, wait. 2016.
16 is,
16,
I believe that's correct.
Yeah, 16.
Met in a mastermind group. We've kept in contact for all these years later. Watched my good friend grow up. He's doing great things out there. What are we talking about today, bro? What are we going to talk about? Let's start here.
What's up?
Let's start here. Tell people what you do. I know you want to talk. We talked a little bit before we started shooting this. You want to talk about all this crazy AI crap that's out here. But let's focus in on what you do. What do you do day to day? What is your executive performance coach? What do you do, my friend?
I help specifically entrepreneurs build a personal and professional operating system so that they have a place to gain more clarity. The main problem that I face with my clients is either unclear or overwhelmed or exhausted. And we go through a process that will gain them more clarity, because if you had more clarity, you're not going to be unproductive. You're going to be more productive. So it sounds so simple, but it's complicated because I myself sometimes feel unclear about where I'm going and what I want, or specifically in your marketing campaign, or specifically in your finances or your relationships, or expanding your business. You need clarity, you need ideas, which is about processing and asking the right questions, which we'll talk about AI, asking the right questions
we will.
AI.
So that's interesting. So I'm going to bring this full circle for people who may not know. Actually, that would be most, because I don't often, I've talked to a few people that are close to me, and I know I talked to you about this recently in Austin. Hassan and I always talk, whether it's every month or so, every couple of weeks, just depends on what time of the year and how busy either one of us happens to be at a given time. But I was having a real struggle. I would say September, October-ish, turning 52, total lack of clarity. And you turn to Hassan and you try to get this long-winded answer, and all he said to me was, you already know. You already know what to do. You know what to do. And he said it to me like 10 times, and I wanted to choke him. But the reality was, during a visit that we were at the same event in Austin, I did know. And it was a moment that happened when a certain mentor to both of us was on stage, that it hit me, and I actually had to leave the room and actually visited my own hotel room and had a complete and utter breakdown, because it was finally that moment of, it was like that clarity moment that came through to me. And I was so pissed because he was right. I already knew what I had to do. I was just in my own damn way. So he may not say a lot during some things, but man, his message is spot on, because I did know, and I've been in that clear world, that clarity vibe, and that, again, why I'm even doing this podcast is just just knowing the things that I want to do and the vision that I have, and now just having the energy and the open and clear mind to go out and do it. So I thank you for that. I don't know if I ever thanked you for the simplicity of your messaging, but it really worked, and it was really it was awesome. And you're like half my age, so it kind of pissed me off that you could be.
Oh man, clarity is king. I would say clarity is king. If you have clarity, you know exactly what you need to do. And it's a message for myself, because it's something that I used to get so overwhelmed with. It's like I don't have clarity. It's like, what is my next step? And I don't know exactly what I need to do, because the world that we live in today, with everything, there's so many opportunities. It's not just one opportunity. There's many opportunities. There's many directions. You could be an entrepreneur. You could be an intrapreneur. You can be off of the org chart. You don't have to be a part of the org chart. There's a lot. So what do you choose? What do you choose? It's based on what you want.
And how do you get there? How do you get there, right? How do you get there? That adds all sorts of funness to the conversation. You know what? Let's talk about that. All these, look, most of who are consuming this podcast, they're entrepreneurs, right? In one way, shape, they may own an agency, they may be doing some M&A, they may be roll-ups. Chances are they're entrepreneurial, they're consuming this content. So look, we're all hit with the same things, right? We were talking about this before we started recording. You know, the AI bug seems to be in everyone's head right now. It's definitely on their screens wherever they're consuming their content. AI, who's got a course, who's got a new training, whose LinkedIn content is nothing but the 7 pages that they actually used AI to create. But that's a whole different conversation. Talk to me about that. What are you seeing out there? You know, people are either, like you said it before, people are like overly psyched about this, or they're overly like, oh, damn it, no. Like I was a few weeks ago, like the hell with AI. Like that was the stupidest thing I could ever thought. But the reality is, like, give me your take on that. What are you seeing out there? How are people responding? And we could talk about that.
100%. So let's start with going to the foundation of marketing. What is marketing, and what do we need to do with marketing? Marketing is based on what people want. It's not based on what they need. What they want rather than what they need. So give them what they want specifically, which is this shiny object syndrome around the new AI world. Then all these different tools, which are all amazing. Now, the thing is, when people are creating content on AI, one of the piece that they're missing is it's not about what it does and all these different things. One is the speed of what it could create for you. But on top of that, we need specific humans that actually create prompts, or putting a prompt together so that we could click enter so that it gives us the right answers. One of my favorite things that I learned with AI, ChatGPT specifically, is if we get to ask it, hey, ChatGPT, what are the questions that I should ask you about this specific topic? If you want to create a VSL, if you want to create an ad on Facebook, what are the questions that I need to ask you? So it gives me the questions, and then I actually put those questions, and now I'm speaking AI language. So it is about the questions that you ask to AI, and that's the epiphany for myself, that it's not about the tool. It's about us and how we use it, which creates speed for us. Speed of creativity.
It's amazing how fast it can create. I think, touching on that from a agency perspective, I talked to you about a certain tool where we could utilize it to create content like super fast, super effective. Most important pieces of that were twofold. One, as good as you could query, their AI was as good as the content you were going to get. So you want to be good at understanding how to ask it and speak its language. And you can just ask the damn thing how to communicate with it. Pretty
Correct.
cool.
Yes.
Flip side is you want to be really good at editing that. So
correct.
It's crazy how, but then you could also ask it to edit itself. So it's really interesting that there's so many pieces of AI, and I know there's people that fear it, and they really shouldn't. They should understand how they could use it, right? We talked about people now, we won't mention any names, but there's people out there giving courses in this space on how to do this and how to do that. The funny part of that is that you can create the course by using ChatGPT. So it's kind of funny, but that's it's just so I have and I've gone full circle on this because I was in the opposite camp. I'm not fearful of it at all. I was kind of like, who needs it? But it's actually, I don't do much without querying it first, just to make sure the thought process I have it's kind of nice. And then to check that against what it actually comes out with, my version of it, and then okay, cool, I can actually put this into the world. So it's nice to have that. It allows, right, a lot of solopreneurs the ability to do, and we
Oh
talk about
man.
this too, how you could overnight, if you understood what asynchronous means, which means you're not doing it this way, but we're communicating easiest via text, via chat, or via email. You could
Yeah.
become a high power consultant in a field
Oh
tomorrow.
man. Exactly. 100%. Easy to
And
get paid. And
once people start to understand the things that it allows you to do, like the gig economy that everybody talked about,
oh,
becomes really good, right? It becomes really
yes.
good based on all, and AI is only going to get better. So I think it's exciting as hell.
Oh man, I can't wait to see what's gonna like. There's all these tools that like for example, there's a human that could speak for you. That you could actually put your own voice into that human, and that human speaks. It's not like it's not perfect, but I don't care if it's not perfect. It's amazing. What is it gonna look like by 2025? It's just gonna get better and better and better with AI voice recognition, or the chats, all these different creative side of things in sales or marketing or the creativity side. Every single week there's a new tool. I'm not quite sure if you like have seen all these tools. I can't come up.
I don't have that much time. I don't have that much time to keep going through them.
I don't. And the only reason for myself that I wanted to spend some time on it, because I knew for a fact that a lot of agency owners, a lot of entrepreneurs are going to use it to cut down on cost. One, because
you can.
You're not, yeah, because you can. It's like you can, 100%. You don't have to hire a really, very high expensive sales copy guy that could do it. I'm talking about an entrepreneur that is still going into this world, trying to create something. It's so cost effective. And then you could also train your team, depending if your team is in wherever. You can train your team how to use these tools to be more efficient with everything around marketing.
Sales, marketing, HR. It's not, we're playing with it from a perspective of marketing. Yeah. And I mean, there's a question. How do you see yourself as an executive performance coach? Yes. Mm-hmm. How are you going to utilize AI to make what you do better? You probably didn't think about this. We didn't talk about this, but I'm putting you on the spot.
I think it goes back to better questions. How could I ask this question? The questions that I ask, how could I ask these questions in a way that actually makes someone think? And how could we use these questions to actually send it to the whole team department so that they can process these questions in a simple way? Because the span of someone's attention is like this, so we need to find a way to ask better questions based on what's happening. So I would use it for that. How to ask better questions.
Well, I mean, what's crazy about, so anybody who's watching this that doesn't really dabble and or play with ChatGPT, you can literally say, ChatGPT, you go to a little query, act as an executive performance coach, and then you hit it and it says, okay, and then it gives you a little summary what that actually is. Then you say, okay, how do I ask better questions of XYZ CEO or whatever it may be who's in your program? And it'll literally be, and then you can dive deeper on all the responses. You don't like it, change the tone to this. It's crazy once you understand the query and how to speak AI. It's not really speaking AI, it's natural, right? It's NLP, not as you know it, but natural language programming, right? So you're speaking to it in a natural language, just understanding how to get the most out of it. It's pretty wild. I'm going to tell you a funny thing. Do you remember? You're young, so you might not, but there used to be back in the day, and I think it was Excel, where you would put in formulas. It might have been
Yes.
Word, where the
Yes.
little clip showed up. You remember the little clip?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Somebody had the other day. Chat GPT. It was like Scooby Doo, right? And they pulled the mask off, and it was that guy. It was that little paperclip guy. It was like, now that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny stuff. But you mentioned something that is interesting to me. What I've seen, and I look at this because I've looked at a lot of acquisitions, and a lot of people you're looking to acquire have a lot of content, which happens to be themselves forward facing, right? So when you acquire something, you want to make more evergreen content. You can
Yeah.
literally take their content, upload the scripts from, say they had a podcast, upload it into a certain AI that will now create a new voice and a new video image for you. That's crazy. Like, think about that. You could
Yeah.
literally rebrand everything that's been out there, make sure you optimize it. So now you rank higher for all these things.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
No,
It's nuts
it
what
is
you
nuts.
can do. And you can
Yeah.
go down so many rabbit holes and get caught all day playing with it.
100%. Now, my question to you is, what's going to be the
Uh-oh.
regulations around this? What's the regulations? I mean, Google and Microsoft and, and people in general looking at content, are they going to look at content as like, oh, that's not Ed Weeks, that's not Hassan. No, it's not. It's a robot. And then does the authenticity go away?
That's where I think you go back to the editing side, right? So if you're doing it the right, so time out. Outside of this, so right now we're filming and we're also creating a podcast. So we're getting audio and video. Outside of just hitting record and speaking, the whole other process is done by a team. Does that make it any more less authentic? It doesn't. It doesn't, because they are experts at creating and putting that content into the world. That's what you're utilizing AI for. I get
Yeah.
it. You can also think about that part of it. You can also create content that way, but then also check it to see its AI score. So is it detectable? Right? Because one week Google is going to knock you for SEO, and then the next week they're not. Depends on how good their own AI stuff ends up being, but they'll probably knock you at some point. So you want to check to make sure that it's not detectable as not being authentic. I
Yeah.
think the query piece of it is what still makes it authentic. If you're asking the right questions, drilling down to the content that you know is good, which means you have a skill set anyways, then to me it's still you're just using a much better system to create the message, the marketing, the content, everything that you want to create. You're just using AI to create it for you more effectively, and hopefully it's much better.
Exactly. So,
And then somebody's going to say, oh, well, that's the scary part, because eventually it won't need you to do that piece. Well, we're not there yet. So maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong.
Yeah, I think I think the question is like authenticity for business owners when they're creating content, and knowing if it's authentic or not. Do they really care? If it's valuable, I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Okay, so I love it, because we could talk for hours about this. So if I am brought in and I'm hired to create brand and brand messaging, brand strategy, brand image, logo, you name it. We come in from the beginning with a company, which we normally wouldn't anyways, because that's a startup. But just say we were. Does that make it less authentic that we created everything for that business owner? Their website, their social media, all their content. It doesn't, because we're using what they say, what they tell us, we take and create. The only difference is now you're telling AI that part. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any less authentic. And I would have had a totally different answer 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I guess I see your point. I see a perspective. I guess that is true, because business owner doesn't have time, so it's giving it to another agency or whoever to do the work. So the difference is the agency is just using the right tools to be better and to be actually more efficient and faster. What's the problem? People are paying for speed. They don't care if you're using AI, this or that. They're paying for speed.
I think it makes stuff. I think it's going to make end user content better. I think things are going to get better, and that's much needed. Because the other piece of this is if you're completely original and you created everything you've ever done and you spent hours coming up with messaging and videos and all your content and nobody sees it, was it worth it? Right? So you could be the 100% OG, original, authentic human being, but no one sees it and or cares. Are you winning? I would argue absolutely not. You may be winning in your own mind, but no one knows what you're doing. I don't know. I could understand the other perspective. But once you actually think about how the world works and how AI can make it better, I think it eliminates that conversation from authenticity.
I think this is a moment of clarity.
Back to the clarity. I like it. That's good. Interesting. It's very interesting, though. I think this conversation will evolve. Like, we'll have to revisit this at some point in the future and say, wow, we were dead wrong, or wow, we actually knew what we were talking about.
Exactly. Awesome, man. I mean, this is the topic on AI. I mean, there's so many different things, but I think everyone should at least try it and play with it and expand and understand why they should use it and how they could use it for their businesses, because I feel like it's powerful. But I think I want to talk about, man, is relationships. What do you think of relationships and networking? It's been in the game for a long time. And I just feel, to be honest, Edwig, since we met, and this is how we built our relationship. If we haven't went to that mastermind or I haven't went to that event, I would have never met you. Where is networking going? Because I'm interested in knowing, as my business, other than social media and all these different things, is where is it going? Because my business is built on networking, relationships. Like when I started everything as in my teens, I built a 6-figure income just by networking, building relationships. And I want to know, in the mergers and acquisitions, all these things that we're doing, what do you think? Is networking important or not important?
Important? Oh my God, come on. We just saw each other recently, right? Like we're still, the honest answer is we're still, depending on the state you're in, you're still coming out of that pandemic COVID-y thing, right? So yeah, that's still out there and real, but it's so refreshing to get back into rooms, right? It's really good to be around people. And that's the vibe you get from, and I hate to use this because it's a label, but I'm going to use it because I think that's the vibe you get from a true, I guess it's not even extroverted, it's both. Because you still have your introverts at these things that just sit in the corner with a few people, right? They do. But I still think it's like entrepreneurs in general are excited about the energy that they don't get this way, right? You don't get it in a Zoom as much as you want, much as the hands, everything we use, you can do it in person much more effective. So I don't think that's going anywhere.
Okay.
I think that's only going to get better the further we get away from March of 2020. The path is open, and I think it's a lot of people need that. So you should be in a good spot. Now, how do you effectively utilize your time while you're at these events? That's a whole different conversation. I can tell you what you could do, my friend. You could be really honed in on what your messaging is, what you want to be, what you want to ask, and then make sure you meet the right people that are at these things to ask them these really great questions, because you're going to stand out, right? Then you're authentic because it's coming from you as you have these conversations. I had amazing conversations in Austin that have springboarded into some really cool projects with the people I've talked to. So yeah, no, I think people are excited to be out back in the world. I mean, I know I had missed the last one that was in San Diego, but I'm going to one in April that'll be out in San Diego because again, the Epic board, which I'm on. That group has gotten a little big, but it's when you get in the person room, that's where the magic happens.
100%. And I would love my dad. I would love my dad to go to these events. I feel like there's so many.
How is your dad? I love your dad.
My dad is doing great. My dad is
Good.
good. He's almost retired.
All right.
One more day.
Well, as soon as he gets that done, he needs to be events because he would do well.
Yeah, I know, 100%. It's I'm Ed Weeks. I'm actually really serious. One more day.
All right.
So you should send him a message.
I love that Hassan calls me Ed Weeks. That's the best part of this podcast for me. So, I mean, what do you say? Yeah, I answered that. What do you think about in-person networking and meetings? So you and I both cut our teeth in some of these groups.
Yeah.
You were in what? La Tips or whatever the heck it's called, BNI.
I mean, no, my business started from, like, first of all, networking in chamber events, BNIs, Latip, a lot of different networking organizations. I mean, just Google networking organizations and you'll see abundance. I memean, one of the tools that I remember, we were in a mastermind and we got that tool. I don't know if you remember it. It's called 10times.com, 10times.com. Do you remember that tool?
I do.
And it shows you all the conferences and events around the world. And it's amazing, all these events. If you're an agency owner and you have a niche around a specific industry, you could put that industry in that event and you go to that event. And the question is, like, based on the question that I'm asking you, is, for me, I feel like people should do it more often, but at the right time, at the right events, not any events, because you could waste a lot of time. But I think you have to go to the right events and go and build relationships and don't sell anything. Just go build relationships. The good will come back to you if you understand how to build a quality relationship, not with everyone that's there. No, maybe 5 people. It's more than enough. And you come out. Then if you get more good at it, build more relationships. But I think it's where you grow. It's where you adapt. It's where you get resources. It's where you gain more clarity. And I mean, just you get to talk to people that have the same exact problems. If you're at the 6-figure level or 7-figure level or 8-figure level, whatever you're at, you're talking to people. It's like, shit, I never thought of that way. You gave me that idea, and this is the cool part. Perception. When we go talk to people, everyone is giving us a different perception. And it's nice to look at everyone's perceptions because everyone has a different perception. I just want to respect your perception, see it from how are you looking at it? And that's like a big aha for me. It's like, how do you think about it? How do I think about it? And respect each other around our perspectives, around anything, around business or life in general. But networking has changed my life. 100%.
I can't argue with that. I mean, cutting my teeth much later in life than you, at a lot of the same events, the BNIs, the chambers, which too, just to promote them a little bit or give them a plug, like it's a great place to learn how to sell, BNI especially, right? It gives you the confidence to go up every week and talk about your vision and what you do and not sell. Just talk about what you do and what you're looking for and who you're looking to be introduced to.
Yeah, exactly.
We always said, as a former BNIer, you could go to a chamber meeting and quickly know somebody who's been through BNI and somebody who's been through the chamber. Because somebody at the chamber hands you a card and tells you how they're going to do everything for you and then goes to the next place. And a BNIer takes the time just to understand who you are and let you know who you're looking to work with instead of selling. So yes, great perspective on both. But do you know anything about EO? Because I've been approached, obviously the only thing that I truly know is requirements of $1 million plus and some other things. But I've been approached a few times by a group out of New York City to join the Entrepreneurs Organization. Do you know anything about EO?
Yes, Entrepreneur Organization. Yes, they reached out to me many different times. They have the same exact thing as Scalable. They have like this. There's the $250,000, and then there's $1 million, and then there's like all these different chapters that they have. And I think it's great. I have not joined it, but I think I have heard a lot of my colleagues or people that I know have joined it, and they love it because of the relationships. And I think even if you yourself, it's not about the content. It's never, the content is a resource that you can always come back to, but it's about the relationships that you go into. You're paying for the relationships more than just the content. I want people to understand that, because it's like when you go to a networking event, you're not, if they're teaching something or if it's a mastermind. I have a lot of friends that are paying on a yearly basis hundreds of thousands of dollars on masterminds. 30,000 here, 50,000 here, this, all these different things. And they bring a lot of money.
It definitely adds up.
Yeah, it adds up. But this is the cool part, Ed. The cool part is the return on investment, because the people that are going to these masterminds, they're getting the clients that they never would get from an online advertisement. They would never get an authoritative person to be on their client list if they were not in that mastermind. But because of that mastermind, they built a relationship. Now they trust each other. Okay, now let's work together. But it would never work online.
I can only tell you that my two most recent clients, which are very large, have both come through the mastermind I'm currently in. So 100%, you're spot on. The other piece of it is this: if you're in, obviously, mine happens to be a lot of digital marketer people, M&A people, right? Just because of the people that are running it. But that being said, I have the ability at any point to offer services. Like, you and I know the same person. If a client comes to me and needs YouTube ads, I got the best guy in the world. Like, right? We know that, and it's just, you're going to pay, but you have the confidence to know that you're working with the top cream of the crop, without question. And that's beautiful, right? It allows you to be that much more confident in that level of client that demands that kind of service, that it's like, why would I go hire, learn, educate, train, get everything done around YouTube ads when that dude is right there? You know what I mean? So it's just, there's so many other aspects of mastermind that give you the confidence of an absolutely amazing network. God. Again, the key though is you're not going to relate to all of them, right? There's no way. Just like if you're at an event cold, you're not going to relate to everybody there. You walk away with one good relationship, you win. Two, you just doubled up from one. That's awesome. That's, from my group, there's 5 or 6 that I'm tight with. Guys that are like, if I need SOPs done on a high level, you got Apple and Google backgrounds that you can pull from. Those will work pretty good. You know what I mean? So it's kind of fun to be able to have that within your network. I don't think events and network, I think it's just going to, as long as nothing else comes out of a lab somewhere at some point, or whatever you believe in, as long as nothing else comes again, I think that the events and the networking is just going to go, right? There's a reason that somebody bought TNC, right? They're not banking on the fact that it's going to go down. I just think those events go, and you hit it on the head, industry specific. If you could talk, walk, and relate to the crowd that you're with, you're going to have success. When you bring something that isn't in that realm, you stand out for somebody that most people don't want to talk to, unfortunately.
No, 100%. I wonder, Ed, what's going to look like if we start virtually networking, like with goggles and stuff?
No, I love it. I hope it happens.
That would be interesting. Imagine going to I don't know, man.
So my avatar can be that 205 dude that I want to be without having to work out to get there. Yes, I love it. Done.
Oh man.
Come on, Meta. Come on, Meta.
Thing. I mean,
I tell you what, though, that stuff, using that, I can't even use. Like, my son's got it, right? So he's always playing. I was playing basketball on the other day. Almost fell over his bed. Almost ran into the wall. I said, "You got to get this freaking thing away from me. It makes you dizzy, man." I don't know how people do that stuff.
Oh man. So that was around relationships, man. I mean, I just want to make sure, like, relationships for me is really important. And I feel like people should actually invest in their relationships and expand with the right people that they want to network with. Because, I mean, the more you become successful, more knowledgeable, more resourceful, the more you think a little bit differently, and you need to connect with people that think differently than the norm, because it gets tough. The journey of being an entrepreneur or becoming an entrepreneur or growing an agency, we have these bumps, that challenges that we face, and we need other people to kind of process with and have conversations, real conversations, not just about business, because sometimes it's about mindset or it's about something else. And you need to have those conversations to guide you to move forward, I think, which is really important. So AI, relationships, what's next?
That's a lot to cover. It's a lot for people to think about. Look, but I think we bridged it, right? Clarity, AI, relationships, but all of those things can kind of run around each other and really get you to a really almost Zen state of doing these kind of things, of how your
Yep.
networking can be, of how your like my schedule is nuts now because I don't know, the law of attraction. Like you said, it's not, I haven't sold anybody anything I don't think I have. If I have, I apologize, but it's just having conversations, bringing this kind of stuff that, like, people face this stuff all the time. Right. So let's stop there. Let's get to this. How can someone who's watching this say, how the hell do I reach out to this young buff dude who seems to have something that I need? So I know we'll put it in the notes of wherever you may be reading or listening or watching this, but tell
Yep.
them how they can get you, bro.
You can find me on LinkedIn, just Hassan Bash, or just go to hassanbash.com. That's HASSANBASH.com. And that's where they can find everything about me. Just search my name,
Perfect.
you'll find me. Yeah.
I think I said his name better than he says. Hassan Bash. He's a good
You
dude.
did.
He's a good dude. He's got a good wife. It's all good. His father is aces. Everything is good with this guy. So if you need help, reach out to him. Hassan, I greatly, I appreciate the relationship we have. I greatly appreciate you coming on. I'm going to have you again because probably in 6 months we need to have another conversation about AI and
No,
how wrong we might have been.
no, 100%. 100%. But I just want to let everyone know that I have grown so much with Ed Weeks. He's a friend, brother, older brother, and whoever is listening to this, connect with Ed Weeks. Talk to him. Message him.
You're a good. You're a good
Yeah.
man. You're a good man.
Yeah.
I love you, man. We'll talk soon.
Love you too, man. Absolutely, man.
Peace.
Have a great week. Happy Monday.
Thanks for listening to the Weeks Weekly Podcast with Ed Weeks Jr. If you like our show and want to know more, check out edweeksjr.com and please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.